So we have a special guest, you guys. None other than Miss Alexis Anderson. She is a mental health professional. And today we get the opportunity to speak with her. I'm trying to find out more information about what she does in the profession. So tuning in. So Alexis,
yes.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yes. Man, it's so cool to finally, how long has it been since we've been trying to get you on here?
At least a month. These allergies, these seasonal allergies have been kicking my butt.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So,
Alexis, just tell us a little bit about who you are. Who you are, where you grew up, and honestly, what led you into this profession.
Yes. Okay. So my name's Alexis Anderson. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I got my master's in Abilene Christian University in Abilene, Texas. Nice. And that's I guess a middle portion of like my story. I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I went to Mansfield, Timberview.
Hey,
right down the street.
Yeah, right down the street. And after I'll rewind. Long story short, my parents divorced when I was 5. My mom got remarried when I was 9, and between 9 and 18, those were some rough 9 years. Mm-hmm. Like, did not like my home life, was counting down the days till I left, really struggled with the structuring of like different family dynamics, going from being in the house with my parents to being in a single parent home to now having a father in the home, and it's not who I wanted.
Yeah.
And so that was difficult.
Yeah.
And so I went to a small Christian, predominantly white college in Kentucky. And my final semester, I took 2 important classes. You had to bid to get into a relationship class. There was only one teacher, one course, one time a year.
Wow.
And I got the bid for this
Good.
relationship class.
Nice.
And then a counseling class. And those together, same semester, was like gold.
Really?
So that's when you knew.
That last semester
It's
of
like
college.
you were like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do.
The last semester of college.
Wow, how that worked out, man.
And
whoa. What was your degree in initially?
Well, initially it was in biology, but the way that I played that first semester,
you were able to just. Oh, you were like, no, that ain't it.
I couldn't make it.
That ain't it.
I couldn't make it.
Biology is like anatomy or like about the body.
Yes, I went to be a neonatologist, and so I went to go in and do like the sonograms and
dissecting things.
Work with women who are pregnant.
Oh,
like that's what I loved. I really wanted to do that, and then I failed biology more than once.
So by default, God put you in these 2 blessings, these 2 courses, which is counseling and relationships.
Yes.
And that turned you into wanting to help people with mental counseling or mental awareness.
So my major was in psychology, and I went for that in that direction. I took about a year off between Kentucky, my small school in Kentucky, to going to Abilene. I really wanted to research what school was going to be the best one for me. And I stumbled upon Abilene Christian University. Only program that I applied to, and I got in.
Yes. That's awesome.
For you.
That was for me. That was for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That is awesome. Well, okay. So you realized you wanted to change your career path, or that was the career path, I guess, in college. And then from there, what was like the first step into your new journey? Into like, what did you do after you got your degree? You just applied it.
Well, can I ask you a question though? When you were in,
asked the question.
I know, but this is pertaining back to the college.
Yeah.
Or while you were still enrolled, working. When you were in the coaching and the relationships class, what was it about those classes that just made you feel like, you know what, this is what I want? Like, what happened?
It felt like that's where my life was calling me to be. Like, I've always been like wanting to do service, wanting to help people. I feel like that's who I am. That's who I've always been.
Yeah.
Hence the service in health.
Yeah.
And then I went into teaching for like 2 seconds, and that wasn't it either.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've always wanted to help other people. I just didn't know exactly how that was going to happen. once I got to college, I really had this change in view on my family growing up, with the help of an ex-boyfriend. But he really helped me change the way that I viewed my family and the way that I viewed my stepfather at the time. And so I decided that, like, having those two specific classes, I wanted to focus on the family, the structure, relationships, how we are able to make them stronger, even if we're in a situation that we dislike.
Yeah.
And so wanting to work through that. And I
Yeah.
didn't know, I don't think at the time, how that was actually going to look.
Yeah.
I just knew that I got the seed was planted, or
Yes.
maybe at that time it was watered,
Yeah.
because the seed was planted when I was 9.
Yeah.
Right. And at that time it was watered, and then I got the next step. And
Yeah.
the next step was like, take the year, figure out which school is the best for you. And then I went to that school and they watered me.
Oh, I love that. You know, and it's always good. Like, I always feel like people that are certain professions, when they have, I guess, backgrounds that are relatable to who the services that they're providing, because they have that experience, they can talk about it, right? Because it's like somebody not having, I'm not saying everybody has dysfunction or anything in their life, but most of us do, right? And if you don't, okay, I'll let you have it. But when you're able to provide a service and you have those stories or those adaptable experiences to your clients, that resonates with them, and they're like, okay, so she does get me, or he does get me. And I think that's just awesome that you were able to turn into more of a positive thing from your experience. That's awesome, girl. Okay, so I know when I met with you, and I'm just so happy you're here, because in one of our episodes, we talked about mental health and my personal experience with my son, who is now 25. But as a parent, I felt like I didn't know how to recognize mental health or any symptoms or whatever. So let's jump the gun. You've got your degree. Now you're helping others. How could a parent is dealing with, maybe, because a lot of us don't know, what would be some symptoms that a child may be displaying that they're suffering or dealing with mental health?
Yeah. I will say that, number one, you know your child. If you're paying attention to your child and you're present in your home, you know your child. I am not the expert on your family.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert on your child. So you know, first and foremost, you know your family, you know your child. So I think for kids, anxiety can look totally different.
Yeah.
It could look fearful. I don't want to go to school. It can look like I'm crying and I don't know why I'm crying. Maybe I'm super angry, and anger is just like the tipping point. There's a lot that goes underneath anger that presents underneath anger. You have hurt, you have disappointment, you have frustration, right?
Yeah.
Those core actual emotions. And so it's really paying attention to your child. If something is off, they're spending more time in their room.
Yeah.
Or they're sleeping more.
Yes.
Or they're not wanting to go to school. Those are some symptoms or some key pointers that you can say, okay, well, something's a little off. Maybe I need to do some investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good feedback. And I remember my son, he was an introvert. So him being in his room all day was a norm in a sense for me, but a lot of sleeping, you know, he didn't have a lot of friends, and the ones that he did have, every now and then they would show up or come over, and you know, it was just the guy thing, they would talk, but I didn't know the extent how bad it was.
Yeah.
How bad it was. And what I do know is that he, you know, reverted to smoking marijuana. That was his calming mechanism. Is that why he slept?
Maybe one reason.
That's why he slept. Okay, B. So, but to your point, yes, just knowing your child.
Yeah.
Knowing your child. And for me, I thought I did, and the sleep, there was just a lot going on, which I felt.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. What are common symptoms for anxiety?
I will say, like, one, I think a lot of us deal with anxiety, a lot of racing thoughts. It's hard to grab one out of the million that are racing through our heads, or a lot of blank, like, head space. Like, I just can't think of anything. Nothing's coming to mind. It could present as fear or worry, like constantly thinking and ruminating on the next thing, like, oh my gosh, I have to pay this bill.
Yeah.
I have this coming up, and really getting stuck and focused on those things that are coming up or that have to be managed in this priority. And so anxiety can look totally different. How I would say anxiety shows up for me is going to be different how it shows up for you, G, how it shows up for you, Fee. So I think anxiety can show up really, really different.
Yeah. So I know growing up, you know, we were not taught to have feelings. Well, we had our own feelings, but we were not allowed to express them. It's like, I don't care, go do what I say, right?
Yeah.
So we were limited to being expressive. I really agree with what you just said about it just really depends on the person, because what my anxiety may be different for Fees or anybody else. I would have never thought about paying a bill. I think we all, how are we going to pay it? And it can be overwhelming at times because you don't have the financial backing to pay some of these bills. And is this car going to be repossessed? Or are they going to show up, put me out of this house? You know, there's so much. And so as much as I would have said I didn't think I was having anxiety, I was.
and think about us from this sense. A lot of us adults, women of color, right? We still have to go.
Yeah.
We still have to get it. We still have to continue to move. And so those symptoms that we see can be masked by our need to go and get it.
Yeah.
So we may actually be having some level of depression or anxiety, and we're just able to function and move through it. Versus somebody who is maybe depressed and they're stuck in the bed.
Right.
Yeah.
They can't get up. They have loss of motivation. You don't see loss of motivation with the person that has to go and get it, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it shows up in a different way. Maybe they're like, they lose all interest.
Right.
I don't want to hang out with friends.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything. I get home and maybe like presenting outwardly, everything's together. As soon as you come into the house, it looks a mess.
Yeah.
I don't have the mind space to do X, Y, Z, to clean, to take care of myself, to maybe like even the basic when you talk about adolescence, to do hygiene.
Yeah.
Like those things people struggle with. On the outside, it may be hard for you to see and recognize, but on the inside within my home, like those are things that we can struggle with in silence.
Yeah. That is so true. Wow. That's deep. That's deep.
I think that, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is it true, or I don't even, we all have some degree of anxiety, and some of us just pulled through it in different ways. I think that's what, resilient or something like that, and maybe that's something I just learned in the military. I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Girl, get up and stop playing.
Give me 10.
Get out that bed and stop playing.
No, so, but to your point, I think everyone does deal with anxiety. It's a different
Some level of mental
symptom
health.
for everybody.
Some
Yeah,
level
for
of
everybody.
mental health. We have to think about it. And I think one extreme pusher for me, one big factor, social media.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Did you hear about those girls taking out their mom or trying to because she turned the Wi-Fi off?
No.
This is a dangerous thing for
No.
these young individuals with no
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. Like you said, social media is like
it's warping our mind in a way that it doesn't need to be warped.
Yep.
We're being conditioned to compare, which lessens our value. We're being conditioned to go after something that maybe isn't ours.
Yeah.
So that envy is really great, which causes dangerous crimes. Wanting to go after something that's not yours. How do we show up content with who we are and what we have?
Yeah.
When social media is telling us that we have to have the opposite. We have to strive for the opposite. We have to do the opposite.
That's so true.
And it's so true because our kids, the 10-year-olds, don't know anything about just the basics, like a telephone, like a landline phone,
No.
or a newspaper, girl, or how about an encyclopedia book? We had them
Yeah.
all. We had, what is it, Britannia? A whole encyclopedia. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have a computer. We didn't have, we maybe in college had a pager. I don't know. But the generation now, the kids now have no idea what it is to survive if technology was taken from them.
Yeah.
How do you survive? And I think that's the most scariest part of it all. What?
It is. No, have them write a letter and take them to the post office. No, that son of a thing gone.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that parents, it's hard, right? Because it's easy to stick them in front of the TV. It's easy to
convenient.
keep them occupied and it's convenient, right? And how do you cook dinner and pay the bills when you have some little person right here?
Yeah.
Right? So you want to give them this level of distraction, but also it takes them into like young adult to youth, right? What do I do when I don't know what to do? I turn on TV. I scroll. I find something to occupy my time, to occupy my brain with, instead of finding something to do when I get bored. Like maybe I go and read. Maybe I pick up a new hobby. And all of these things that I'm talking about, going to read, picking up a hobby, right, can all be used as coping skills.
Yeah.
TV is a distraction.
Yeah.
Marijuana is a coping skill, but on the spectrum.
Yeah, he'll bite. I'm sorry.
Listen, be nice to me. Be nice to me.
That's another
We
episode,
struggled
girl.
with this, girl.
You know, that's why I have it so far away from me. No, I'm just kidding, girl. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you be great, Alexis. Go ahead, girl. Okay,
yeah.
so coping skills.
Coping skills, there's a spectrum.
Yeah.
We can have unhealthy over here, which can look like sex, which can look like substance use, which could look like drinking, whatever the case may be. And we have some healthier coping skills. And sometimes these healthy coping skills can travel over to being unhealthy as well. Working out constantly, being obsessed with it, right?
Oh, wow.
And so we have to figure out how to teach our little ones how to cope, how to figure out how to bring that anxiety down, how to lower that anger, how to deal with they don't feel like they're good enough. And they're missing that when they get stuck in front of a TV.
Do you, and this is just me asking, one coping skill is to breathe. Do you believe, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, do you believe in that one?
I do.
Breathe.
I like mindfulness. I like the, they have like guided mindfulness, I'll say tours because I don't know what other word to use right now, on YouTube, and they will speak to you, or on Spotify or like the Calm app, and all you have to do is like play it, and you have to just be centered. It takes a lot of turning off your mind, which could be scary for a lot of us to do.
Yeah.
To like really just take a break, to turn off our mind and just be present with ourselves. But I do think that it is important for us to do that.
Yeah,
Like
so
when
you learn to
Meditation
you learn how,
too.
some,
Yeah.
come on, meditation to be able to turn off, turn on.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal.
We need self-soothing as adults too. We do it anyways. We self-soothe with alcohol. We self-soothe with sex. We self-soothe with relationships. We're calling a friend. Right? We can use that as like a co-regulation. But what happens when you take those things out of the picture? Can you self-soothe? Can you sit
So
by
I can
yourself?
self-soothe without sex. I haven't had it in a minute, so that's not even on my radar right now.
Yeah.
I'm celibate.
But can you really like soothe and calm yourself?
Yeah, if someone's not shouting at me.
Yeah.
Did you look at
If
me?
he's not, if he's not shouting at you.
Girl, I can have triggers. Girl.
Look at me.
But she will say I'm certified crazy. Don't play with me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody listens to her. I mean, we do. Okay, I do. I don't want to even bring her man in it. But I do. I listen to her.
Not Carter being put on the spot.
Girl, it's entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Calm down. Sorry, like, so enough about Fee. You have anything to say, Fee?
No.
Fee.
I love you, Carter.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so this is good. So there's good behavior, bad behavior. Some of the good behavior with coping could,
Well, not even necessarily good or bad, right? Because sex isn't bad.
it's not.
Alcohol isn't bad. Some substances
See, I keep saying that.
aren't bad,
It's
right?
really
It's,
overly indulged.
it's how we use it. Is
Yeah.
this healthy for me, or am I making this more so unhealthy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not bad.
So I'm gonna tap into your brain because we're socialites and we like to hang out, right? And I don't think it's an issue, right? But people, like in my past relationships, have always found it to be an issue because they don't agree with my choices, right?
Okay.
But it's for me a safe space.
Okay.
It's where I'm able to just unwind. Because sometimes when you go home to a kid and sometimes a man, you're unable because you're constantly moving, whether it's cooking or chore, clothing, just everything, laundry. And then if you got a dog, I mean, you're always going. And so for me, being able to have a Musa has always been a struggle with any man that I've been in a relationship with.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your, I mean, I know you're not my therapist or you're not mine, but I mean, are we deserving of something like that?
I think there's two different things, right? Extroverts, they charge outside with people. They charge socially.
I mean, fellowshipping out, not within the
They
household.
Recharge. They charge. You sit on the charger, and that's how I put it.
Okay,
You
okay.
charge
I like how you're saying that.
outside, socially, around other people.
Okay.
Maybe you want to, maybe you charge, independently inside, quiet, but how much is that going to recharge you, right? Versus introverts, they recharge more so can be in isolation or in calming environments or with less people. And so I think there's just a difference between how you choose to sit on your charger. What's more beneficial for you? How are you going to get the most bang for your buck?
Yeah.
Maybe you have a little split and you can do 80% extrovert and you need that 20% to be charged inside, right? But I mean, we're all made up to be different.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. I love that.
So I know I'm not going to get my bang for my buck being out at a bar spending money, right? Because I would probably save money if I was at home being isolated. But I understand that part. I've tried that, being home, just being appreciative of where I am. I've got a roof over my head and being alone by myself. I don't like that feeling. I don't like being the only person, the only adult in the house sometimes because I can't talk to anybody because I'm always going. And then when, then I talk to my child and now my child thinks he's grown because I'm venting and I'm sharing, too much.
Yeah.
And that's why I like being away around other adults.
Yeah.
That I could have some kind of dialogue with and not a child.
So what it sounds like is being on at home. You're on. You have to be, you're in work mode. You're in mom mode.
Oh, yeah.
Versus going home and being able to relax or being able to, enjoy your space. As a single adult with no kids, listen, I enjoy that time.
Hey,
I
girl.
enjoy that time
I
by
bet.
myself,
Yeah.
right? But I also need that time away.
Yeah.
And maybe your space in this season is like you need to recharge around other people. Maybe not spending a lot of money, but it's about more so the fellowship,
Yeah.
the socializing more so than the money that's spent.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm at today, considering my journey thus far. Because I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I'm just excited about being single and really understanding who I am all over again because I've been in just a tough situation. And so I'm happy where I am, but I just want to make sure that I'm not going about this wrong. And it's kind of like, I don't want to change for anybody. If I do decide to get into another relationship, this is me, this is what I enjoy doing. And that person would just have to be understanding of that part, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm out like 7 days a week.
She is.
No, me.
4 out of 7.
4 out of
6 out of
7.
7.
Yeah, thank you. 4 out of
The
7. That's still
majority.
good. 2 days in the weekend, and then I pick and choose some days out the week.
Yeah.
4. That's it.
Okay, so y'all are climbing up the number ladder. But no, this is good information. I only because I always have just wondered, is it me? I mean, because I do enjoy people.
Yeah.
I enjoy being around my sister.
Yeah.
I enjoy being around her significant other because he's his, he's funny. But there's just the camaraderie and just the entertainment that goes on going to sometimes a safe place. Girl, I just enjoy it.
I would also ask or wonder, like, how can you make your home safe for you? How can that be a safe space for you, right? If your safe space is with your sister or out or socializing, what about your home is harmful? Or what about your home needs to be more of a safe space?
Yeah.
So how can you make that? And that's for you to, I mean, I'm not
figure it out.
asking
Yeah,
you,
no,
but,
no.
like, that's
Yeah.
Oh
for
no,
you to-
please, Gina, answer. I'd like to hear this.
Well, because
kidding.
I'm in a
kidding.
transition.
I'm kidding. Can we go to a commercial? Really quick? Can we go to a commercial? No, you want to keep going?
This is great information because I think that's. No, I'm not there, right? I'm not, but I do understand making sure that when I my home needs to be my safe place.
Yeah.
It needs to be the place that I love and I endure and I don't want to leave sometimes. And I've had that before. I know I've had it before because it's homey, it's cozy, it's me, it's my energy. But there are just times that I just want to get out with other adults.
That's okay.
Yeah. Thank you for co-signing.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, B, you've been awfully quiet this go around.
I've been mentally disturbed all my life. I've seen some treatment, girl. I am good. This is evidently intervention for Gina.
Not mentally disturbed.
Girl, I have my situations, but again, this is definitely information. These are probably questions you've been wanting to ask, and I'm glad you're receiving all the information. It's good information.
Yeah.
Information.
Is there any? So we all talked about breathing mechanisms. Is that for stress or is that for anything? Anxiety?
I would say stress, anxiety. Like,
What is stress?
Ooh, I feel like I just got a little stressed asking. I think everybody's stress is different.
Yeah.
Like when you think about your stressors, your main stressors that you have in your life, they're going to be different. Whether somebody's could be like paying a bill, somebody could say that their stress is having to take care of their elderly parents.
Yeah.
Or, health is declining with their partner. That
Yeah.
could be stressful. Somebody else could say like, not knowing where their next meal is going
Yeah.
to come from could
Yeah.
be stressful. So stress is just like the worry of like, how you going to work it out?
Yeah. So are all of them intertwined? Stress, depression, and anxiety?
I would say no. They
Okay.
don't have to always commingle.
Okay.
Sometimes they do.
Okay.
Like you can find people who are anxious and they're not depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find people who are depressed and they're not anxious. I think of stress or stressors as like those things, those factors that contribute to. So your stressor could be like your romantic relationship and that contributes to your depression.
Got it.
Or like your instability in finances that contributes to your depression or to your
Got it.
anxiety. So that's how I
So
kind
the
of think about
stressor
it.
can lead to either one of those things. Being stressed out about something can lead to depression or anxiety.
Yeah, and
Okay.
those just kind of show up different.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like that. That's good. Thank you. That's awesome. You don't have any. So you have served your purpose with me, Mama, because I've again was so excited about you coming on this show, and you did. I did feel like it was a one-on-one thing. Sorry, V.
No, the question, girl. Can I ask the question that I asked initially?
Oh
Go
yeah.
ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I was just gonna ask.
Uh-huh.
When you left college, where did you do an internship somewhere? Did you, how did you know you were gonna go into psychology? Like what profession when you became in the behavioral?
When I
profession?
left the graduate school or when I left
You went to you went to university, 4-year university, when you took your relationship and your counselor's class, and then you went to grad school doing what? You got
I got a master's in marriage and family therapy.
okay, and then from there you went into
From
practice
there,
or something.
so that's a long story too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
so I
could have had time to talk about
do
it.
we
if-
have time?
Yes. We
So
have.
I
about 5
left
minutes.
graduate school. We got about 5 minutes.
Thank you,
for
Gina.
keeping us on
Thank
time.
you, Gina.
I'll keep my story short. From graduate
What do you need? 6 minutes?
a little bit more. I may
Girl, you
need
get some
some.
time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I kid. So I left graduate school still owing the school money, which meant that I couldn't come out with my transcript.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I had to work to pay back the school the money that I was loaned in order to be able to receive that transcript.
Oh wow.
And that caused a lot of like struggle with self-worth.
Yeah.
Because I did not have what I worked for as soon as I left school.
Yeah.
And so it took me a long time to get the gumption to go and actually apply for my license, to go and actually do the thing that I wanted to do, because I mean, I was paying out of pocket. My undergrad degree doesn't really mean anything without a master's degree.
Yeah.
My master's degree doesn't mean anything without the paperwork, without the
Paperwork.
transcripts, without the license. And so I spent a couple of years stuck, to be honest. It was hard.
Yeah.
And so once I got out of that, I went into some psych hospitals, and I've worked in psych hospitals from about 2017-ish to about 2024.
Okay.
And I mainly worked a lot in psych hospitals doing various different things. But yeah, that's my little journey after graduate school.
Wow.
And so now you practice on your own?
So now I have my own private practice. I'm located in Arlington, Texas. And you can find me at healingrelationships.net if you want to look up my services. I specialize in blended families, so I really want to give back to that community and hope to soon become a doula. I want to.
Oh, wow.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
The pregnancy, right? Is it
Yeah.
the lady that's having the baby in a tub or a
What?
pool?
Or
What?
she. I did kind of spring that on you.
I know.
So I want to be help women through their birth.
Natural birth.
It could be natural, it could
Okay.
be at the hospital.
Okay.
So that's so
Okay.
interesting how you started that journey when you talked about biology and that you were going down that direction,
Yeah.
but then just that darn
Still a
biology.
passion.
Yeah.
Still a passion. I love
Still
that.
a passion.
I love that.
So I hope to soon one day I can add that to my list of credentials
Yeah.
of being a doula as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So clearly, biology major and wanting to be a doula, you're not terrified of blood.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
More so like the vomit and the poop, but
Oh,
not the blood.
The blood is what
Oh,
gets
that-
me.
Not the blood.
Ah, you're bleeding.
No.
That's awesome. I love it.
Carter knows how that went.
Yeah. No. So I see couples, I see individuals, I see adolescents. I really love to help parents figure out how to do this journey of blending families. I think that's what I ultimately wish that I had growing up was somebody to guide my parents. They did the best that they could with what they had, but I
Yeah.
really, really hoped for somebody to guide them, to provide us with the family dynamic at least I was hoping for.
Yeah.
That's selfish, but that's what I
No,
that's what I
but you're
wanted.
paving it
That's what
forward
I
for
needed.
other. Yeah.
But does that really happen? Because don't parents have to be willing
They do.
to like be open minded to stuff like that? And I feel like we're closer than what we used to be before my time. At least I think I was that one that was, hey, I'm going to treat. I don't know if you did any of your stuff at Denton Behavior.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so that's my place of military sanctuary. I love that and was grateful for that opportunity. So thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
But going past that, when you were talking about blended families and giving the awareness and maybe almost like a roadmap or just how to, we're in a better place than we were years ago.
Yes.
Because I'm going to say this, for my mom to call us one day after listening to our mental health podcast and be like, y'all are so brave and so, courageous and strong.
Yeah.
Like watching y'all it changed my mindset on how we're not trying to point the
Bash,
finger or
yeah.
bash anyone, just an awareness.
Yeah.
An
Yeah.
awareness, and that's going to go somewhere.
And can we speak our truth while not bashing, while also bringing awareness?
Yes.
My truth doesn't have to be hurtful. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's my experience.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have to remember that I have to allow my clients to speak their truth, to give them a space where they feel safe, where they can communicate like, this is not what I want. This is what I want, and help me on the journey as I navigate towards that goal.
Oh, I love it. Is it hard? How long? So what's the average time before someone kind of just starts to trust the process?
I
Is it
feel
all
like
different?
It's all different. It depends on how willing and ready you are
Yeah.
for the process.
It's a mindset, yeah.
It's a mindset thing. And it definitely does take into consideration how you've been hurt in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also say, like, therapists need therapists. I'm not
I was
like
gonna say,
free of this.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I need my own work towards healing. And so, starting a new relationship is hard because you have to bring up things that are uncomfortable that maybe you thought you worked through and you have maybe with friendships, but when you get to romantic relationships, maybe that's a different dynamic.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I really urge people to go to therapy before it's too late. A lot of times I see clients, couples that come when they're in like crisis. Go before then. Go before you meet that person. Go before you're deep in that relationship and it's about to fall apart, to get the help that you need so that you're not like scrambling on how to like win this battle, win this
Yeah.
war.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe
That's
that.
good information.
It
That's
is. It's great information.
I honestly wish I would have gone through therapy as a young person as well. And I'm sure it was offered, but it was just never provided. And even as an adult, I'm sure I need to talk to somebody. Got a lot of tea to spill.
Girl, I'm looking at the date time. It is never too late. Sign her up. No.
No, honestly, I'm looking at my son and I really want us both, my young son, to seek some counseling.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between therapist and a counselor?
That's debated. I feel like that's another podcast for
Okay.
another day, but
Okay.
that gets debated,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
Yeah, leave it for another podcast.
Yeah.
Because you're coming back.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Yes.
Yes, that's how we're in this one. Okay, you guys. So, Alexis, tell the
Again. She already said, but go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
Sure,
tell one more time before we
Okay.
Go ahead, Gina. Take control. Close statement.
Hey, y'all. Alexis, do you want to share one more time how people can follow you or get in contact with your amazing services?
Yes. Feel free to go on www.healingrelationships.net to find my services, a little bit more about who I am. Yeah, that's how you can find me.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. And if you're following us, continue to follow us, you guys. Thank you for all the likes, all the subscribes, and you can follow us if you're not already doing so on Instagram, YBMEFamily, YouTube channels. That's where we're streaming our podcast. The channel for that is at YBMEFamily, and also Facebook is also YBMEFamily. So thank you guys for tuning in. Till next time.
Don't forget to share.
Don't forget to share. Bye. Bye.